Hi everybody, my name's Kirk Ellern and I am tech design teacher at Vaughn Middle School. Today was supposed to be the first day of school, but it's smoky or something, right? So on top of this COVID thing, we got smoky. So I guess B day is going to be the first day, A day, whatever. That's tomorrow, so it's Monday night. What I'm going to be doing is teaching tech design, which is a lot like computer science. There will be a lot of computer science stuff in there. And tech design is kind of like how to use technology to design something. I'll get there. So it's like how to solve problems using technology, or what we like to say is a product. Right? A product is a solution to a problem that somebody's willing to pay for. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably end up mailing this out to you. I'll put it on YouTube and I'll mail it to everybody. But what we're going to do in the class is we got to get everybody their laptops. That's going to take like the first week of school. Whether you're distance learning or whatever, I'm going to treat this like it's a distance learning class for everybody. When those of you who are in the classroom will come in, sit at the computer, we'll be able to log in. I'll have a video like this and some other videos and things that we can do online and that kind of stuff. But if somebody gets sick, we're going home, right? And unlike last year when we kind of went home and didn't do anything, this year we're going to do stuff. I'll try and keep it kind of fun though. My objective is to make things fun. So the first thing I thought I'd do is introduce myself, kind of tell you where I'm coming from, and some of the experience that I have. You will hear all kinds of stories from me in the future, so I'll try and keep it brief. And then I got to go through some things for those kids that are going to be in the classroom, right? Rules and that kind of stuff. And then I want to show you some of the software, or at least introduce some of the software and some of the stuff we're going to be talking about in class. Recording. Okay, so let's get started. So, like I said, I'm a gamer. I play a lot of FPS games. I don't play some of the games. I play spaceship games where you fly around and shoot at people, and airplane games and some other stuff. So I'm using some Twitch software. I could use Twitch, I guess. So we could have Mr. E's Twitch channel. I don't really Twitch I don't use it professionally or whatever, but I have the tools. And it's cool because when we get to a point where I'm showing you a video game, I can show you the 3D. In the short term, I'm going to be showing you a PowerPoint. Okay. So the first thing I wanted to do is explain who I am, where I'm coming from. Most of the students that are going to be at the class are going to see this all day, right? So here's a picture of my face. Again, my name is Kirk Ellern. Students call me Mr. E, and that works pretty well because it's a mystery, right? So Mr. E, you can call me Mr. Ellern if you want, but Mr. E works pretty well. Behind me in this picture, you can see a couple of my drones. Tomorrow, maybe tomorrow or the next day, I'll record a video showing all the different drones, and I'll explain why I have so many drones in just a minute. Let's talk about some of my background. So most of my world has been, for decades, I've been a product manager. That means so the product manager's job is to find the product that solves a problem that somebody will pay for. Right? It's a solution to a problem that somebody will pay for. So, and I worked in technology. So I put some pictures up here just to remind me my order here. I was one of the first GPS, or one of the first employees for Garmin. So we invented the GPS, or we invented the consumer version of the GPS. I was actually the board level guy, but long story. You will hear a lot of stories. I went on to working at the first MP3 players, and MP3 players play music, right? And they're not a cell phone. Cell phones weren't around yet. So yeah, I predate the cell phone. But you'll see this little Nike swoosh here? So I had to work, I would go to Nike's headquarters 2 times a week and work with them to design an MP3 player. And oh boy, but I learned a lot about shoes, right? But then I was in the electronics world, and then we had to figure out how to sell it, and that's where I got one of my starts. I went on to, over here, Sirius Satellite Radio. You may have heard of Sirius XM in a car or whatever. So yeah, we were making car stereos, but my job was to be in charge of a portable satellite radio, and that was a complicated thing, right? After that, I moved back to the West Coast, and I was in charge of a product that took all the information about every movie and every music track, right? And then the product was, if you say I like this song, what other songs should play? It was like Pandora, right? So I didn't work for Pandora, but it very much like that. Then 2008 happened. That's financial problems, and I moved back to Reno, and I started teaching, and I taught science for 3 years or so. I was at Reed, and I was at Hug, and I taught at Reno High for a little while, but mostly at Reed. Then IGT, the guys that make slot machines, gave me a call and said, "We want you to be do tech design for a whole big deal." And I'll tell you about the whole big deal, but it was basically this slot machine and all kinds of stuff that went with it, right? A whole product line. Well, that was fun for a while, but then I quit IGT and I started a drone company. And we were one of the only companies that were allowed to fly drones professionally. Like, that's changed now, but and there were all kinds of scientific and economic development and other groups that were like, what can we do with drones? So we would custom build the drone and put different sensors on the bottom and go do something with DRI or the Department of Wildlife or Department of Agriculture. Can you sense this? If we put an infrared camera and multispectral camera and this and that on these drones, what could they do? In fact, last big job I did was with the robotics lab at UNR. And they have this, I'll show you later. It's a completely autonomous drone that can go fly underground and find its way and do all kinds of neat stuff like mapping and whatever. Anyway, so that means I have a whole lot of drones. Oh, and while I was doing that, I also, about 30% of my time was devoted to creating a curriculum for teachers to teach teachers how to write code so that they can teach the students how to write code in 7th and 8th grade, and then the drone, and they'd write code for drones, right? So that was a big project, and that's what got me to Vaughn, right? Last year, so I decided to go back to teaching because our company kind of shut down. And last year I worked at an elementary school as the computer teacher nearby. And now I'm at Vaughn. So I just started like a week ago. Anyway, that's kind of my background. I look forward to hearing your background too, but I thought I'd kind of qualify myself, right? Okay, so that's who I am. Let's talk to the students. I'm going to send this out to everybody, okay? Let's talk to the students that are going to be in class for a little while. Everybody needs to do the old be respectful, be responsible, be safe, and be kind. That includes being online, right? You're going to be responsible for a lot of stuff. And you need to take it one step at a time. If you need help, be cool. I will unravel the string for you, right? But be responsible. If you're in class, oh my God, germs. So there are so many rules this year and so many procedures, and we haven't figured much out yet. Today we're talking about how to do a fire drill without everybody, while everybody's 6 feet apart and stuff like that. Everybody's got to wear masks. I can't loan you a pencil. I can't borrow your pen. I can't touch your laptop without sterilizing it first, right? So, and the chairs need to be cleaned, and we're going to be eating breakfast and lunch in the classroom, so we've got to clean all that up and then start on the computers, and we got to clean. It's going to be crazy. So, example, you can't go to the bathroom between classes. You have to come to your class and then sign out that you went to the bathroom, because if somebody gets sick after going to that bathroom, they need to know that you need to be alerted, blah, 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 blah. No lockers. We'll keep everything in our backpacks. Trust me, do not walk around with a 4,000-pound backpack, right? Keep it light. And at the end of the day, if somebody gets sick, we're all going home, right? And the chances of that happening are relatively high. So the way I've made this class is it's all online. I want it to be all online. If you're in class, you have me to help you. But I've set up the computers so that they're way far from each other, and I can see on the screen, the TV, big TV, what what everybody's doing, and I can like take over your computer and help you without having to lean over your shoulder and that kind of stuff. So I think who knows when we're going to have to go home, right? Who knows if we will, but we're going to treat this kind of like an online class, and you get help if you can get to school, right? There's more. What we're going to do is every day, everybody needs to tune in to Teams. At Teams, I'll have like a little questionnaire, like how you feeling, right? And that's more mentally than whatever. And then I've got something for you to do. It could be watch a little video, answer a couple questions about it. It could be go to one of the software games that I'm going to show you, and go work on that. Like we will be making video games. We'll also be making movies where you can record yourself, maybe get some movie footage from YouTube. Okay, we got to worry about copyright and all that stuff, but I'll show you how to do it, and so forth. The idea is we're going to make products, right? And so we're going to list who the product is for, what problem we're solving with it, that kind of stuff. Everybody, even those of you at home, need to have a spiral notebook. We will be doing some drawing, not really artistic stuff, and we're going to be writing stuff down. And I think from a distance perspective, you can hold the thing up and take a picture of it and then upload that to me. I'll show you how. But you're going to need paper, you're going to need a pencil, and every day in class you're going to need to make some notes. Don't hate, participate. I say that a lot. Positive attitude wins all the time. So if you get wrapped around the axle about a certain piece of software, or your password isn't working or something like that, don't freak out. We will solve it, right? Other rules: no food, hats, and other stuff. Well, you can wear your hat at home, right? And food, like I said, we'll have lunch, but it's got to be very clean. You can bring water, whatever. But earbuds. So bring some, right? If you're in the class, we are going to be listening to videos, we are going to be playing games, we are going to be doing stuff that's relatively noisy on the computer. If you have earbuds, it's not as hard, right, to say like, hey, turn it down. The rules are going to be, when I need to talk to you, take them off, right? Like we'll set up a signal. Cell phones need to stay in your backpack. I like to take people's cell phones from them, check it out. Don't use a cell phone. Language and volume. So we got to keep we're respectful, so we're not using the wrong language, and we're going to remain pretty quiet, right? So we don't really need to be. It's like Champs. You've heard of that, right? Level 0 is silent, so zip it. 1 is quiet, 2, and you've heard this before. Just a reminder. Rules. I always say that everybody in my classes, everybody has to have fun, especially me. When I stop having fun, others will stop having fun too, right? That's kind of a warning. But you'll get a warning, and then we'll have the one-on-one conversation, and then you get a timeout, like a little kid, and then you're out. There's also rules, just so you know. If you're not wearing your mask, or you're too close, or you don't want to do the COVID distance stuff, you're out, right? I mean, they're not fooling around, right? You're gone, right? You're going to the office. So just you'll hear all about rules tomorrow and the next day and whatever. You guys know about the dress code better than I do. I bought a couple shirts. I'll try and go for it, right? Okay, so let's talk about some of the software that we're going to be using. Every day we're going to log into Teams. Don't worry, if you don't know how to do that, I will teach you. We'll not worry about it for the first couple days because I don't even have access to Teams yet. We'll figure it out. On Teams, it's not, so we'll be doing, instead, we're not using Zoom anymore, we're using all this Microsoft stuff. And this is just a picture of my Teams area. We'll get there. So every day you log into Teams. Here are some of the games we're going to play. There's one called Digital Citizen. We need to start with that. That's kind of like how to be a responsible adult online, part of computer science. We're going to be using code.org a lot. There's a lot of fun games in here, and puzzles and that kind of stuff, and you'll be writing block code and in the beginning so that you can get kind of logic figured out. And then later it starts turning into more and more complicated, right? So this is kind of work at your own pace, although we'll have goals. But first you got to learn how to write some code Then we can use the robots, right? Okay, and typing. If you're going to write code, right, here's the problem. I'm terrible at writing code because I look at the keys when I type. You'll notice I'm a bad typer. I can type pretty fast, but I got to look at the keys. And that's why I am the slowest coder ever, because you're constantly looking up and down. So yeah, typing is important. And there's some games on here too. I'll show you a whole bunch of videos. This is basically a YouTube, you can see it's a YouTube video. I have a whole bunch of pretty cool videos. That might be the A day or B day or whatever, the off day. Watch this video, what do you think of it? And I do want feedback, because some of the videos might not, maybe they talk too fast, or whatever, but so we'll work with that. We're going to start off with Google Earth. If you haven't used Google Earth, it's a satellite view, right, of here's Vaughn Middle School, but you can see all kinds of neat stuff out there. And we're going to use it kind of as a tool to use so that you can learn about other Microsoft stuff, namely how to take a screen capture, right? Because you're going to upload that screen capture to me to show me that you did something, right? Or your videos that we're going to make. We're also, again, I'll show you how to make videos. So without going into a whole lot of detail right now, you've heard of the scientific method, right? And that's the process of investigating something to make observations and then have variables and test if something changes, right? So we'll talk about this, right? Remember what a hypothesis is. Remember what what a variable is. Experiment. Well, that works great if you're doing science. Technology design is the use of science to make a product. Okay, so we use what we call the engineering design system. And there's a workflow here. It's a process. So we're going to go through each step in those processes. And what is the criteria, or what is the reason that we're making this product? What problem does it solve? Or the customer might tell us what the problem is, and then we've got to go design something to solve the problem. Example will be, see all these paper airplanes? I figure, like, I can't give you the paper, right? You'll have to get some paper, and then we're going to learn how to make paper airplanes. But as you can see, each one of these has different designs. So which one would you pick, or maybe you can modify it? Well, which one would you pick to try and solve this particular problem? And then how would you modify this to make it better, right? So you're going to make the prototype, throw the prototype. We're going to see how, maybe we'll say this one needs to be as long of throw as you can. So, well, what if we make a couple of changes and then we go back, right? And we do the process over again. I'm not going to sweat you with this one very much. It's a little bit full, but from a product management standpoint, my role in my career has always been this, right? We start with what is the problem, right? We end with launching the product, right? And in the middle, we have to think about all the business side of this. How much do we charge? What is are we good at this as a company? What other things do we sell in the product portfolio? User personas means, like, who are we trying to sell this to, right? Or if we're trying to sell a car stereo to a 90-year-old lady, right? It's going to be a little different than if we're trying to sell it to a 16-year-old kid, right? Just that kind of stuff. So I'm going to refer to this personally all the time and try and relate this whole business of creating a product to how to make something that we could sell, right? Like, it's business, right? Okay. And Minecraft. So I took a class in Minecraft education, and we all have access to Minecraft education as Washoe County students. And it's basically Minecraft. It doesn't have quite as many features, but it has other features, like we can all play at the same time. That's all cool, but if I was going to install this on your laptops, I have to install it in every laptop in the school. And I don't mean I have to do it by hand, but that means every kid, even people that aren't in our class, are going to get Minecraft education pop up on their screen. Is that bad? I don't know. I haven't quite figured it out. Well, definitely if you have your own computer with an internet, well, if you have your own, you got to have an internet connection to download it. But if you have your own computer with an internet connection, you can install Minecraft education. Maybe you already have. I'll show you how. And definitely in the classroom we have Minecraft education. But do we want to Are we going to do it on the laptops? I'm not sure. I'll get back to you on that one, right? But there are some really cool things that we can make and invent, and you can even write code in Minecraft Education. Next and last, I did order a couple of new drones. I've got access to about 60 little drones like this that we can program with an iPad. Problem is, we can't let you touch the iPad. We can't let you touch the drone, or we'd have to give it to you, or we'd have to figure out how to clean it. And I don't know how to. I've got questions out there. Maybe what we'll do is, you program it. I'll be the one chasing the drone around, right? Like, maybe I'll touch it and you program it. Or, we've got another option I just saw today. We can do robotics and write code for robots. And those robots are somewhere out there. I just saw this today. And there's a webcam on them. So you write the code, and then you hit go, and a couple seconds later, the robot does things, right? Maybe we can do something like that. So let's be flexible. We're going to figure this out one day at a time. Hopefully I'm figuring it out one day before you get to school or we get to the topic. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to save the rest for later. That's probably enough for now. Great to meet you digitally. Right? Hopefully I'll meet some of you in class. Those of you who are doing distance learning, I will want to tune in and say hi and get to know you a little better than just sending you videos. So look forward to that, and signing off. Have a great first day at school. Hopefully I will too. See you later.